Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with some prophetic messages. So I do want to say before I start the prophetic message that if these messages you feel like do not resonate, please don't force them or don't try to make them fit, okay? But if you feel like you are being divinely guided to my channel to watch this video, obviously there's a message that is either there for you or someone that is in your immediate environment, okay? And let's just say sometimes that even if the energy isn't resonating just now, it could possibly be relating to someone like 2 weeks down the road or a week later, okay? So just be mindful of that as well too. And for those of you who are on Instagram or Facebook, you guys are going to have to go over to YouTube to hear the full message, okay? So, but with that being said, let's go ahead on and get into the message. So on December 22nd, I received this message and let me describe to you really quick. So you know how Megatron sounds a little bit from, oh my God, why am I drawing a blank right now? The Transformers, thank you, Spirit, from Transformers. So this voice came through kind of sounding like that, but a very dark type, demonic type voice. And it was as if I heard this voice in like a hallway. So some people may be experiencing this and it could come to them in different ways, in different shapes or form. I'm just giving it to you how it was given to me in a dream, okay? So it was as if this voice was just going screaming throughout the hallway, and people kind of within apartment buildings, like a high-rise type building, heard this voice and got scared and kind of like trying to exit the building, okay? And I saw that some people were it was as if they were kind of using the patio to go over, but I saw this as if it was someone on a bottom floor doing this, okay? So I'm not suggesting to anyone, please, if you are up on a higher floor, please be mindful of your judgment. Please be mindful of, stop and say a prayer for yourself, okay? Don't do anything haste or stupid, okay? In a process of just hearing something that you're not used to hearing, okay? Because sometimes these energies just come to try to put fear or instill fear within us. But stop, take a moment and acknowledge the creator, okay? And that will help you in the process, okay? So anyway, so I got wind that the person jumped over the patio. Again, it was on the first floor patio. And it's like they had kind of went across the street. But then it was like the way I received this message was they kind of went within a place where there was like other people, but the way I saw that message was too, it was like as if these other people was this person, these other versions of this person, if that makes sense. So in other words, it's like me, and then there's 3 other people that are me, but they are coming in 3 different shapes of form. Like one of me has my hair like this, another me has my hair another way, another me has my hair another way. So basically what it is basically God is just trying to get you basically to face yourself in a sense, because so many people have been running from themselves. I did a TikTok video talking about if people just learn to face themselves in the mirror. If you guys want to go over to TikTok, I'll be having some discussions over there. You guys should take and go to TikTok if you want to hear those various discussions that I get into over there. So anyway, so basically God is wanting you to address and face yourself in a sense. There's something within yourself that you are running from, and sometimes God will allow those types of things to, one or two things, that cause us to steer us into fear, not because he wants us to, but it's so that we can get out of our own way in a sense, because sometimes the only person that's holding us back is ourselves, okay? So the way I saw this was, it was as if it was like so it was like 3 people in the room and 2 people get up, and remember, there's 3 versions of myself in the room. So one of me gets up and then another me gets up, and we kind of faced off and look each other in the eyes in a sense, okay? So the way I saw that is, for some people, they're going to face themselves and really look themselves in the eye. And for other people, I just heard Spirit say, thank you, Spirit. I just heard that some of you guys are going to find yourself facing off with other people, other types of energies, as let them know, look, I'm not afraid of you any longer. So you're not going to be running from something that you feared before, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and end that message. And then I had another dream where this one came in on the 23rd. So for some of you, I saw as if like your soul family is going to kind of come in and help you out in some sort of way, whether it's your soul family, people within your immediate environment, or whether it's people within your, like your spirit guides in a sense, okay? Some of them I saw that they're coming in to kind of help out in some sort of way. And then that's the end of that message. This other message came through as if like this message is pertaining to kids. So I just heard that sometimes God is going to ask you to step up and step to the plate and do something that maybe makes you uncomfortable, get you out of your comfort zone, and basically stand up for a cause is what I just heard. So some of you guys may find yourself in a situation. I'm not sure if this is like some sort of childcare center or just somebody's business, but they see something pertaining to a child where a child is crying because they don't want to go with their own parent. Okay, so someone is going to kind of, I saw it as if someone was going to kind of step in and basically ask the child, are they okay? As I said before, some of you guys are being divinely guided to do this because you're meant to step up and again get out of your comfort zone. But I saw the child be in comfort, and I heard someone kind of say, hey, call 911 in a sense. So because this child was saying that they didn't want to go with the mom because the mom was mean, but please use wise judgment, okay? Don't go around thinking that, oh my God, like this child over here is crying, because this is where you got to use your discernment, because there could be situations, maybe a child is crying in the store because they can't have something off the shelf. So again, be mindful, but again, follow your heart. What is your heart telling you to do at that moment, okay? Listen to your gut feeling, your intuition. Okay, so I saw that somebody was telling somebody to call the cops or call the authorities, and they were going to kind of hold that child there until the authorities came. But I also saw this come in a form, in a way too, that and take it how it resonates, because whether this could be a partner situation is what I just heard too, or it could be a stranger situation in a sense. Okay, and the way that I saw that was there were 3 parents, and these were all like moms in a sense, and these people weren't married. Okay, but the way I saw this was as if like the child was being held back. So again, whether it's a situation of a stranger, reaching out to 911, or whether a partner's kind of reaching out to 911. Again, it may not come in its exact form, but this is just similar to the nature of what I'm talking about. But basically what happened was the parents, which were the female energies, decided that they were going to leave and leave the kids behind in a sense. Okay, so some people, these are the type of energies that some may be dealing with, coming soon, or dealing with at this exact moment. Okay, the next transition is just what I heard. Okay, and sometimes when I say transition, it means like the next planetary shift. Okay, but the way I saw this was, and what I heard in the dream as this was happening, when I saw the 3 women that was like, you know what, I don't need this. So they decided to kind of leave their kids behind in a sense. And basically what happened is what I heard was, it was as if saying that okay, so now this is pertaining to those who are in partnerships with relationships with people. Okay, so it could be the child's father in a sense. And I basically heard that, some of you women, probably somewhere between the ages of like, let's say 27 or maybe 32 of age in a sense, some of you guys may find yourself deciding to just kind of walk away. And that may not be literally walking away from your kids in a sense. That just could be just meaning just go find your happiness in a sense, okay? But it was as if they were kind of deciding to walk away. And as they were walking away, I heard that when they decide to walk away, they're going to think that whatever next relationship that they're kind of chasing, because I saw the females putting on shade. You know how somebody's saying something and then all of a sudden they putting on their shades and then they leaving. So it's like all 3 of them put on their shades and they were getting ready to leave. So the shades was a representation of putting on another yet false mask in a sense to go out into society. So to woo whatever next male, to woo whoever is paying them time, energy, and attention to. Okay, but basically I heard that you're gonna realize just how hard you have it. I'm not gonna say the other word that came through, okay, because I'm not trying to use these words on anyone in a sense. It came through that way in a dream, but I'm not gonna say it in a dream. So people are already trying to heal their family karma. So the way I saw this was, it was when this male leaves your life, you're going to really see what it feels like, your family dynamic, your family karma. You're going to really see what your family karma is really based on once this person leaves your life in a sense, okay? If that kind of makes sense. Just read between the lines, because I don't want to say the CUR S-E word in a sense, okay? But I'm spelling it out, but I don't want to say it, okay? But nevertheless, some people are just going to really see how their family line is once this person kind of gets removed from their life. This next message came through. I saw it as if it was like being in a building of some sort. So some of you guys are like, this building was like a representation of the subconscious mind, okay? So this message came through on oh, this is still the 23rd. So the building was a representation of like the subconscious mind. So basically what was happening in this dream was, it was as if people were being released from this building. But I saw this lady, it was like two particular women. And for me, that was a representation of someone either practicing some sort of black magic, practicing some sort of, a dark magic of some kind, the hexes, curses, or whatever the case may be. Because this woman had these different symbols on herself, but she was really cloaking herself. But I say all that to say that in the dream, it was as if people were leaving this building. So to me, that was a representation of some of you guys, your subconscious mind is about to change and shift soon, okay? And just be mindful of that. And then not only that, but for those of you guys who are pursuing this is the same dream, but it's switched scenes, okay? So also, some of you guys are going to be mindful too of who you buy from and who you get your food from and who you're willing to entertain and who you're not willing to entertain. Because I saw that there are going to be so many people that's going to want you to buy, that's going to want you to purchase from them. For those of you who are within high vibrations, in a sense, it's very important that you be mindful and use your integrity, use your intuition, and use your inner guidance of who to purchase from and who not to purchase from. So I say all that to say is, if you're someone who's out here in high vibration, you're not going to just go to somewhere like let's just say McDonald's, and there's no shade or target at McDonald's for those people that eat McDonald's. But what I'm saying is, it's almost like you don't resonate with that frequency. That frequency can kind of bring your energy down, okay? If that makes sense. Again, it's no target to anyone who is at McDonald's in a sense, okay? Because I ate McDonald's at once upon a time. But it's just the fact of, and it's not even about, it's the people who are behind it. The people, whether they have morals, value, integrity, self-respect. Do they respect the people? Those type of things is what I'm talking about, okay? So nevertheless, it's important to know who you're buying from, okay? Anyway, let's skip on from the dream. Well, then it skip to another scene, okay? So for those of you guys who are pursuing endeavors or personal projects that you're trying to pursue, just know and understand that you may have people out there who are trying to mimic what it is that you're doing. So I just wanted to make you aware of that and be mindful of that. And for those of you who are watching, you're going to have to be mindful of these people who coming in. I just saw 1313 as I said that. You're going to have to be mindful of people who coming on the scene, because I'm, no offense, but when God shows it to me, I have to say it. So it was as if Caucasian people yet again trying to cash in on off of something that somebody else is doing. And again, does not pertain to everyone. That is pertaining to those people who which that energy is pertaining to. So let me say that first and foremost. I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about those people who do things like that for a quick dollar, okay? Anyway, so just know it, and just know and understand that what God has for you is for you, and whatever somebody may try to mimic, if God has not anointed that person to do so, just know that it's gonna be just as quick as they try to build it, just as quick as it's gonna fall, okay? So I say all that to say, this work is not for the lighthearted. The work that God is asking his people to do, in a sense, is not about making a quick dollar. It's about building God's kingdom, okay? Anyway, so let's move on to the next message. So on December 24th, I received this message, and this came through, give me a second. So some of you guys could be at this time or leading up to, I think, the day before Christmas, I think it was. Some of you guys could be revisiting or could be receiving informations in your dream. So if you receive informations in your dream, you should probably, if you wake up at the time, you should probably write it down so that way you can go back and reread it, in a sense. If you can just try to train yourself to do that, in a sense. yeah, it's really important that you really try to train yourself to do that. And I say that to say because messages do come in dreams, and sometimes people may not always necessarily understand what messages are coming through, but God always gives us messages in dreams. So if you should have a dream, and if you wake up, at least try to write it down. Have a writing a dream journal next to you, and just try to jot information down, because sometimes God is giving you clues to your past or things that are to come. Okay, sometimes you may not necessarily understand it, but that's what's happening. Anyway, so the way I saw this was some of you guys may be seeing exactly some um, people who are within your close proximity is what I just heard. People within your close proximity, whether your circle group, your so-called co-workers, so-called friends, or neighbors, and take it how it resonates. It could be different for other people, and even your bosses, family members as well too. But basically, God was showing people, or still is probably about to show people, their past lives in some sort of way, or just something about people that you are dealing with now at the core, at your core relationships. People like showing you like their true intentions or why they do the things that they do, in a sense. So just again, pay attention to that, okay? And then on, let's see. Okay, and then I received this message as well too. So some of you guys, I got it as if like thank you, Spirit. Be mindful if you guys have like somebody to walk your dog, the dog walkers, because the way I saw this was as if somebody had I guess like a dog walker, somebody was walking somebody's dog who doesn't normally walk the dog. But basically what was happening was the person came back home, but came back home with the wrong dog. Okay. So, and they kept looking at the dog like, that's not the dog. That's not my dog. That's not my dog. So I saw it as if like, somebody is telling the person who walked the dogs, in a sense, like I guess the dogs got mixed up in a sense, or somehow got off the leash and was running around. And I'm just giving you the scenario. Maybe they might have been off the leash and, and at a dog park and got let go of and was too busy talking, not realizing that they'd taken home the wrong dog, as an example. Or it could be a situation, as I just heard Spirit say, that somebody's dog could be possibly missing, in a sense. Let's hope not, but we want the animals. They're like people's too, okay? So nevertheless, I saw like the owner asking a person who was walking the dog to basically remember who was there at the park, so that way they can try to touch base with them to find out, hey, you have my dog, in a sense, because it could be a situation of somebody else was walking the dog and the dogs kind of look a little similar, and they thought that they weren't the owner, so therefore it was somebody else, again, on both sides, walking the dog that they're not normally used to, and don't know the ins and outs of that, features of that dog, in a sense, that they mistakenly thinking that was their dog, in a sense. So I saw someone kind of reaching out and taking it to the streets, I guess, like putting up posters, putting up signs, and basically trying to find their dog, okay? So that message is for someone. That may not be for all, but that may be a specific message. And this very important dream, this message, actually, yeah, let me finish. I hope you guys are listening to the end. So basically, hold on one second. Sorry. So basically, this message came through as if it was like, this is going to be very important to pay attention to, because I saw that something's happening within the medical health care field. So either some people are going to find themselves being let go of, because the way I saw this was somebody was in scrubs, they was in a uniform, they had a name tag, okay? And this can be pertaining to any place, but I really feel like it was the medical health care field. It could be medical health, it could be mental health, it could be something pertaining to health, nevertheless. So I saw as if like they had kind of given the staff members a warning saying, hey, if I hear you saying such and such things, this is just an example. If I hear in a dream, if I hear you saying such and such things, we're going to let you go. So in other words, they're going to give people warnings of something. What exactly it is, I don't know, but something pertaining to the public. So either people have been wrongfully trying to coerce people, or trying to control in some sort of way, or trying to I just heard the word like manipulate in some sort of way, okay? So you know how like people are, you know how like when somebody arrives at emergency room or goes to like a doctor's office and they asking you questions and they typing it in or whatever the case may be. Well, when's the last time do you have a fever? When's the last time you know, blah 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 blah. So some questions that the medical healthcare field are warning their staff members to not ask the patients, and if they are caught asking these specific questions, they're gonna find themselves being let go. Because I saw this happening like 2 different times. Like there was a woman talking to another woman, and she, in her subconscious mind, I could hear her saying, I'm going to ask these questions anyway. Like she was being defiant in a sense. Like, because I just heard like, you know, sometimes the older generation can be a little stuck in their mindset and not wanting to change in their ways. And I really saw that that's what this lady's energy was kind of carrying, like a stuck mindset where, you know, people are trying to shift in a sense. Okay. And if people aren't trying to move, it's almost like they being let go of. Okay. So she decided to test the waters anyway and do her own thing. And then I saw it as if like a male came along, a younger guy came along doing the same exact thing, asking the questions. And it just so happens that like somebody from, let's just say HR or, you know, that type of department had walked past and they overheard the conversation. So as they overheard the conversation, basically they told him, basically he already knew what the deal was. So instead of him knowing that he was going to get fired, he knew what the deal was. He knew that this person was from the main headquarters, HR, whatever the case may be. So he just got up and walked away himself. So because he already knew what he was doing was wrong in the process. Okay. So take that how it resonates. Okay. And I just heard be mindful too, because it can be a little, it could possibly be a switcheroo too. So whereas one situation is just like a warning, and then there's other people who could be possibly, you know, wanting to ask these questions because they feel like it's important. So use your intuition, again, use your intuition as your inner guidance. Okay. So this next message came through was, oh, this one is important too, y'all. This is something that I will share on TikTok because this is something that I have been divinely guided to have a discussion about. So feel free to go over to TikTok. We have discussions over there, you know, sometimes people don't want to get their hands dirty and say things that, you know, that will possibly offend people. I'm not trying to offend people, but sometimes people need, you know, it's important that people hear the truth in a sense. They take with the information what they will. Okay. I don't know if y'all hear that fire truck. That's just confirmation, right? Okay. Anyway, so a child had came to me and asked me, and I really felt like this is my inner child. So, and I just heard Spirit say that. I really felt like my inner child was saying, hey, why does these scientists or these scientists, people, why do they do, or where do they get their information from? Okay. And basically I told this child that they do experiments on people. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave that discussion there because that's all it was. But I basically told them that they do experiments on people in order to get their theory, in order to get their information. But please stay tuned because again, that will be a discussion that I will be having on TikTok. Okay. The next dream that I received was, again, this is some more information from a past life. So if some of you guys are wondering what has been your past, you know, sometimes if you just, you know, whether it be cry out to God or just ask God or even pray to God and just ask God, well, you know, because I know for myself, like for those of you guys who know that I had issues with my neighbor in a not too long ago, should I say, because, you know, the stuff that she was doing, should I say, having spiritual warfare with her, not something that I wanted to do in a sense, but that's just the energy that she was giving off. So I say all that to say that basically, some of you guys may be finding yourself, if you really want to know the answer to some of your questions, just get in a quiet place and really ask God. You know, if you got to cry out to God, ask God, pray to God, do whatever, and just get in a place of quietness, because if you ask God, you'll kind of get your answer. But you have to pay attention to, again, if dreams come through or what's coming up in your, you know, what's coming up in your train of thought. Okay. And again, you got to use discernment, what's coming up as well too, because God will give us the answers to the questions of things that we are seeking, but we have to, again, get in that quiet place. We got to ask, we got to open ourselves up, and if we truly want to know something. Okay. And sometimes that could be, it can come, you know, the next day, it can come the same day, or it can come, you know, you never know when it's going to come, but the key is just to pay attention. You will get an answer, okay? Because there hasn't been anything that I have pretty much asked God that God has basically given me. And even though there are times, so basically I just heard, thank you, Spirit. I just heard Spirit say that when you ask God for something or you want to know a question to something, write it down, okay? And then just put it in a different journal, write it down. But once you put it down, write it down in a journal in a sense, and then you're going to eventually go back to it once you get your answer. And then you just put in there your answer that God had given you, okay? But again, pay attention to your dreams and pay attention to what's coming up, because sometimes things can be coming, it can come in the form of through a movie, it can come in the form through an article, it can come in the form through maybe somebody else speaking in a sense of, but that's where you got to use your intuition, okay? So sometimes it may not come in the way that we think it's supposed to come, but God, that's how God used the synchronicities around us for us to be able to interpret the hidden wisdom and knowledge that he's given us, okay? And then so, again, some of you guys may realize your past situations with certain people, okay? Whether it's healthy or unhealthy, but most likely unhealthy, okay? And then this last message came through. Okay, this last message came through this morning, and this on the 25th. I'm sorry, the 26th. So some of you guys, and I really feel like this one is pertaining to the divine masculine in a sense, and it may not be even pertaining to just the divine masculine, but it really is pertaining to the divine masculine, but it can go both ways too, because sometimes the feminine energy carry masculine energy. It depends on what energy they're embodying at the time. But some of you guys really need to have your energy field cleansed. Cleanse. Okay, cleanse, cleared, and cleaned, okay? And the reason why I say that is, and that's another video that I actually have down to do for is the aura field. I do believe I kind of did one in a sense, so you can go to TikTok if you want, but we have 5 different layers of our aura field, and I don't want to get into too much discussion here, but these 5 different layers are there to help keep us safe and protected, okay? But some of you guys really need to cleanse your aura field. You really have to be mindful of where you go. You really have to be mindful of where you eat. You have to be mindful of who you eat from. You have to be mindful of all these other types of energy, because when you go and you plug yourself into these other different energies, it's almost like they attach themselves to your aura field. So, this is your physical body, and imagine like this is one aura field, and then you have another one outside of that one, and it just gets bigger and bigger, but in 5 different layers, but it goes around your whole body, okay? So basically what I'm trying to say is I saw that there was these different things happening. There was chaotic energy, like somebody being combative, like I guess to like authority figures. And again, the way I look at it is you're not authority figure if you're not setting an example. That's just how I look at it, period. My own personal opinion. But I say all that to say that, they were being combative in a sense, like testing, like I guess like a police officer. So, but it may not even just be a certain situation. For some people, it may be a situation of a police officer. For other people, it could be a situation of maybe like someone who's supposed to be an authority figure. It could be like a teacher. It could be like a, somebody, a boss or something in a sense. Okay. But again, take it how it resonates. But somebody just being combative and, trying in a sense. And it was like the officer had basically said, okay, I'm gonna just give you a citation just because basically the person was getting on their nerves and keep testing them. Okay. So that was just showing me the level of, okay, you want to give somebody a ticket because they're getting on your nerves because they're speaking the truth, but be mindful of that as well too, because there can be some people who are coming with chaotic type energy, but this person was just talking. But nevertheless, it's the disruptive energies that I'm talking about. So anyway, so it was one situation like somebody dealing with being combative with like a police officer. It was another situation where somebody was tucked down. Let's just say, like, imagine being under like a dresser, the opening space under the dresser, and just kind of tucking in and just sitting back and watch because it's like you're scared for some particular reason. And then there was another situation. It was like all these different things happening, okay? And there was another situation was like, shoot, I can't remember the other ones, but the other situation was like as if, how sometimes when kids go to lunch at school, and let's just say I heard like a female asking like, hey, you want milk? Which milk do you want? You want white milk or chocolate milk? So they was like the chocolate milk, okay? So they had like, they gave, instead of giving them one milk, they gave them like two milks instead of one. But I got the feeling of like they didn't pay for it, okay? So whether it's a situation not necessarily pertaining to actual milk or someone drinking milk or someone being at school, but basically someone basically taking something in some sort of way that they're not paying for, that the scales are not balanced, the scales are not even, and it's almost like a form of stealing in a sense, okay? So anyway, but what else? Yeah, so all of these energies, but again, some of you guys need to really cleanse your aura field, okay? I will, if you guys join me over on TikTok, there I'll be having a discussion where there's 3 things that people should do throughout the new year, okay? Not throughout the new year, before the new year gets here, okay? So join me over there. That will be helpful to helping to clear your aura field in a sense. Again, it's going to be the topic of 3 different things that you should do before the new year, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I hope those, excuse me, I hope those prophetic messages were helpful. And hold on one second, y'all. Shoot. Sorry, I was just being divinely guided to. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. So I totally didn't even get this message until just now, but let me check. Did I screenshot one too? No. Okay. So I normally get this message before I come on, but I didn't. And Spirit was like, go to the receive this message, okay? So this is Luke 2:28 through 32. It says, Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace, okay? So some of you guys are about to be dismissed. You heard me when I said in the dream, thank you, Spirit. And I didn't even know that the scripture was here, right? So I earlier when I said in the dream that there was like this demonic voice kind of getting people up to move to go face themselves in a sense for whatever it was, a different aspect, uh different aspects, sides of yourself in a sense, just facing yourself in some sort of way, whatever it is that you're fearing, whatever it is that you're not wanting to do, but basically getting you out of your comfort zone. The sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace, okay? For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all nations, a light for revelation to the Gentiles in the glory of your people Israel, okay? So again, God is about to start releasing some people for whatever reasons that he's releasing them. It's almost like, I know some of us have been under this tough energy. As I said before, you know, I was dealing with situations with my neighbor in a sense, and other people have been dealing with different things, and God had just been asking us to keep going, keep going, keep going. And all of us have been tired. We have been exhausted on this journey. There have been times we had to stop and practice self-care on this journey. There have been times where we just had to just take a mental break. There was times that we had to just disconnect from social media and disconnect from our phones so that we can really take that time to because which I just heard Spirit say, you guys be mindful too, because when you're on social media, like it's like that energy can kind of drain you, especially if you're someone is an empath, okay? But I just wanted to give you that helpful information. So anyway, but with that being said, just know and trust that some about to be released soon, okay? Oh, thank you, Spirit. Almost forgot. Oh, almost forgot. This is the important part. The funny thing about this was, this song came up the other day, and the song is by Isley Jasper, Caravan of Love, okay? And all I kept hearing was, are you ready for the time of your life? Okay. And I heard that and it just kept playing in my head, And if you guys don't know that song, go look it up. Okay. I'll try to put it in the description of the box below, whatever. But listen to that song because some people, things is about to shift for you. Okay. Things about to shift for you in a big way. And then for other people, it's for those people who have been selfish and, stuck in energies that, that has not been conducive to what it is that God has been doing. It's like they're also are going to experience that are you ready type energy, but it's going to come in a form of what karma have you been putting out? Have you been putting out good karma, or have you been putting out negative energy? Okay, so that's going to depend on how the energy comes back to you. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday or your time off. I don't celebrate the holiday, but it's no judgment to those who do. But for me, it was time off for me to take time out for my son and spend time with my son and daughter, being as though my son was off of school. But yeah, so just spending time with him. But anyway, so I hope you guys had, I hope you enjoyed your time off. But nevertheless, go over to TikTok and be a part of that discussion. Well, not part of the discussion, but, again, tune into those energies that I am talking about, 3 things that we should be doing before the new year, okay? That's going to be very beneficial going into the new year. So with that being said, I'm going to end it there. I wish you all much love, much light. Bye.